Welcome to the June 18th team call. I'm excited that you guys are all here. If there is someone on your team that's maybe new and you haven't let them know that this team call occurs every Thursday night at 7 p.m., you can go ahead and just shoot them a quick message and let them know it's not too late to get on. Or just remember for next time, and there is always the playback option now that I figured out what was wrong with my YouTube page. So we're all back up and running when it comes to that. One thing that I wanted to share with you guys really quick, it's mostly going to be Q&A, but I have two quick things that I wanted to talk about. Right now, it's a great time to focus on skincare. And in your back office, especially if you're new, there is an entire training that you can go through under your back office that is going to teach you like so much about skincare. It's a quiz, and you'll go through a module and then you take a quiz. When you pass the quiz, you get to go to the next module. But it's going to teach you a lot about skincare. And so if you're feeling nervous about answering someone's question when they say, I have combination skin, what do you recommend? This is going to be a great way for you to start feeling more empowered in answering those questions and becoming a resource for your customers. Really, the benefit of this kind of business, you can get makeup anywhere, right? You can get it at Walmart, you can get it at Target, you can get it at Marshall's or Ulta or Sephora or the MAC counter at the Boscov's. You can get makeup anywhere. But what you can't get is customer service and one-on-one personalization. And in a society that is go, 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 it's very important to come back to that service mentality. How do I serve my customers? How do I make sure that they feel beautiful in the products that they're using? Well, it's making sure that I'm recommending good products for their skin type. And so this training in your back office, I'm going to see if I can open it up right now and tell you exactly what it is. But I imagine some of you had never even heard that this was available. Certified, and this is going to help you understand our skincare line, why our products are so amazing, and how to recommend them to your customers. And I'm looking right now. I think it's under My Business, Training and Reference, and then you go to the Training Center. So My Business, Training and Resources, and then this one here. And then just go through those. I'm trying to see if I can find the Uology training. I don't see the Uology training in here. Oh wait, it's under Getting Started. At the top right, let me just walk you guys through it. Hold on, I'm gonna share my screen. It's easier if you can, everybody learns differently, and for my visual learners, I want to share this with you. Okay. All right, can everybody see my back office right now? You can see it's like the biggest screen is my back office. So you'd go under My Office, My Business, then Training and Reference, and then Training Center, okay? Now, this is how much training is available to you. To say that you weren't successful in this business for lack of training would be a sad misrepresentation of what's available to you. At a minimum, it's just not, you just don't realize that these resources are available. So that's why I wanted to come and show you. Here's first steps, and in the first steps, and this is great if you get a new presenter to sign up under you so that you can help them. This is first steps, and there's a lot of videos here that you can go through under just first steps. But if you see where it says training segment and you drop down under training segment, you can see Getting Started, Product Knowledge, Currently at Corporate, Video Library, and then whatever they have that's coming soon, which I'm imagining this training coming soon is where we're going to have our convention resources and all of the trainings that they record from convention. But I would go under Product Knowledge, and there's this training here called Complexion, and that's going to help you color match more strongly. If you feel like someone comes to you and says, I don't know what color I am in foundation, watch these 2 modules because they will help you become more confident at matching someone's skin tone. And then the other one that's super valuable, I don't know why I don't have all check marks. I absolutely got my certificate and now it's trying to rob me of my credentials. But you start here, Introduction to Uology, and there are more than 5. Look, this goes over some more. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 modules to help you understand skincare. Okay, that is super valuable if you're someone that likes to learn about things before you execute things. There are 2 types of people. The people that want to learn everything about everything and then maybe act when they feel comfortable and ready, and the people that jump off the cliff and or will build the airplane on their way down. I kind of run somewhere in the middle where I want to be educated, but I also want to get into action. And I think that's the sweet spot. So try those trainings, see if they give you some understanding about our products. It's going to be super valuable as people start asking you questions. We've got our eye serum coming out. That's going to be awesome. So I hope you guys all got your eye serum. New presenters get it early, and the public is going to get it on sometime in July. I think July 1st, but I can't remember exactly what Melanie said in her live. But it's really hard to sell something you haven't tried because it's not authentic. And so if you're thinking, oh, I'm not going to get it right away, that's fine. And you can absolutely use my pictures or anybody else's before and after pictures, but you can sell a lot more when you are invested in the product, when you are a believer, when you are sipping on the Kool-Aid. It's so much easier to talk about something that is amazing and working for you rather than something you haven't tried. So that's why they give it to us early, so that we can get our hands on it and we could start making marketing materials and stuff like that. So anyway, just some food for thought, something to think about. And then I also wanted to just share with you guys a little bit of just peel back the curtains a little bit about what's been going on. This week for me has been really hard. And I found myself in like a little bit of a funk. And I don't know if it's just universal because the world is a crappy place and I'm an empath, so I absorb everyone else's energy. So I'm just extra sad or extra, I feel like my nerves have been exposed, you know, like I just feel afraid. And I was really concerned about this month with the team, not because you guys are doing anything wrong, but our numbers are less than they were last month and the month before. And that makes me immediately say, are you doing enough? Are you training enough? Are you helping enough? And I'm spiraling thinking, I got to get ahead of this. I want to help my team and something's going wrong. And I was really beating myself up about it. And I wanted to share that with you, one, because that is something that happens to me very frequently. And you might think that because I'm purple status or whatever you think it means to be up at the top of the company, that means that I don't have doubts and I don't have insecurities and I don't have moments where I feel frustrated in my business or stuck in my business. I do. The difference is that I know that those feelings are very temporary and that this business will roller coaster, and there'll be times when you're riding the highest high you've ever felt, like walking across the stage at convention or earning the cruise or getting your next promotion. Those are the peaks. Okay, the valleys are when you as a leader at the 10th day of the month have $0 in sales and you're wondering what is going on and how can you lead people when you're not setting the tone and the example. And that is where I have been as well. So I wanted you to know that it happens. It happened to me when I was at pink, it happened to me when I was at blue, it happened to me when I was green, and when I was orange. It is a very common thing to say, like, okay, well, what's going on? Am I doing enough? Am I good enough? Am I good enough to get to the next level? And since I wanted to share that, so when those feelings come up, you don't think it's just you. Because it's not just you, it's me too, it's all of us. We will all go through that. But the difference between successful and unsuccessful people is that they do not attach their vision to their emotions. This is key for you guys. Do not attach your vision to your emotions. You ever heard that? You ever seen the meme that said, don't make promises like that you can't keep when you're not in that moment anymore, you know, when you're like really happy, and so then you give like shots all around, you know, and then you later you're like, oh crap, how do I pay for this? So don't write checks your ass can't cash, and don't make promises when you're at a heightened state of emotion. But the key to this all is not to attach your vision to your emotions, because as women, we fluctuate. And if it's that time of the month, or if my husband pissed me off in my dream last night because he was cheating on me, even though he wasn't cheating on me on real life, it was just my dream that made me mad. You know, emotions can be very fickle. So don't align your identity with the emotions, and your vision cannot be attached to your emotions, because they go like this. Okay. And then as I was really like kind of not even gonna brush my teeth this morning, let alone do this beautiful blue eyeshadow, Jennifer Hagemeyer, our Black Status Elite, messaged me and said, congrats to you, boo. I was like, congrats for what? I know I ain't doing nothing. I've just wallowed in a self-pity pool for the last week. You were our first elite leg to break off this month. This team is her first elite leg. She's Black Status with like 9 elites, and we were the first one. So what that says to me is that I was feeling it, and I thought I was alone, but all of her elites are feeling it. And so I'm not alone, right? And not only am I not alone, we are in front of everyone else. That says something about this team. That says something about you guys showing up. That's not me breaking off as a lead, because I just told you at the 10th of the month I had $0 in sales. This is you guys killing it and showing up for your business and getting these new products in your hands. And I wanted to share that testimony because we should be very proud about where we are, even though it's kind of a slow month. It's slow across the board because Younique's trying to get back all of the products that have been on back ordered for a little while. But we are at the forefront even during the slow time. Okay, that says a lot about who we are as a team, and I'm proud of you. And then, because I needed some perspective, I went back and I just wanted to see how far our team had come. Do you know that as a team, we have maintained elite status or higher, many months orange and a couple months purple, for 20 months straight? 20 months straight, we have maintained elite status as a team. The consistency of it shows our width and our depth, because as you know, you can get elite at least once, but maintaining is so much harder. And for us to do it for more than 20 months in a row is a huge testament to the quality of people that we are linking arms with, you guys. And I'm proud to run this even in the slow months, even in the months where we feel like we're not going to hit our goal and we fall short, even in the times when we're not getting the sales that we're used to and the recruits that we're used to. We are still one of the strongest freaking teams that Younique has. And I believe in you guys. I'm so proud of you, and I just wanted to share that because I was not that I was being ungrateful, but I was wallowing a little bit in my self-pity. And when I switched it to the gratitude of, God, 20 freaking months in a row of over $10,000 in team volume, the consistency of that, it's just amazing. And you guys, I'm blessed to link arms with each and every one of you. So I'm not gonna cry or anything. It's not the time of the month. Next week I'll cry, probably, if you guys are keeping track of my cycle. TMI? All right. So what I wanted to do is, now that I've shared with you guys one of my struggles in my business, I was hopeful that you guys would also feel as an opportunity to not like bash or get negative, but just acknowledge when we face challenges, because it helps us collectively when we can all use each other for a resource. right? So if anybody wants to go first, I technically went first. So if anybody wants to go second, I saw Leslie's hand first. Leslie wants to go first. I'm going to unmute you. Oh, wait. All right, I'll let you do it. It's not letting me do it.
Okay. I'm going to go first because I may have to get off of here because I've got some work I got finished up because I'm starting vacation today, actually. I'm on the real big struggle bus right now, getting back into the groove. It's been many months since my last live. So that's my true confession, and I'm having a real difficult time getting back into the groove. And I don't know if it's outside forces. Obviously it is, because my other work is like keeping me nonstop. And so I just, if anybody's got any pointers on how to get back in it, I can't even find the emotion. Now I'm going to cry, and it is not the time of the month. I can't even find the emotion anymore to do it. And I hate that because I love it, but I can't get there. So I'm all ears.
Do any of does anybody else ever feel like that, where it's hard to just kind of show up and kind of, maybe even if you took a break, to turn the switch back on? Does anybody else ever feel like that?
Leslie,
I can't be the only one.
no, when all of this quarantine stuff started and my gym closed and I lost my job, I was not in a good place at all. And I'm like, I can't go live. I have no desire to get on Facebook and do my makeup. Like, I have no job, I don't have gym, I don't have people, and that's all my water and sunshine, and it was all gone. And yeah. I realized that the going live was what I was missing, and that was just another fuel source for me that I had lost, and I wasn't putting that time back to doing that again because I just wanted to wallow around and be sad. Now you're working your ass off, which I certainly was not doing. I was sitting in my house doing nothing. But it definitely, that's what got me through. That's what got me through being out of work for 2 months and not having any sense of purpose. It just gave me a different perspective. And those friends of mine those people that come on and watch those lives and the interaction that I get, it forced me to put that positive smile on, and it changed my mindset, and it gave me the emotion to do it. And then I got addicted to it again. And you will.
Yeah, and that's my problem. And then I found out today, and this probably will make me cry. We were supposed to be on vacation. Did I lose y'all? Hold on. I'm sorry. I was getting a phone call. I got a phone call from my daughter this morning, all in tears. She is a broker for townhomes in the Houston area, and she's been exposed to COVID, and we were supposed to see her this weekend. So, being at high risk, I can't see her. So, I'm even further down than I was. I even called my cardiologist. I said, can I wear a mask? What can we do? And he said, if she's had direct contact, which she had with this worker, that I couldn't be around her at all. So my son's going to be with us, and she's not. And she's having a very difficult time with it. And now I am. And so it's like it's put a damper on my vacation and the whole bit. So I'm like at the bottom of the barrel right now. And I can't find a way up.
Raise your hand if you've ever felt like that. Like, not exactly like Leslie, but just so emotionally drained that you can't give one more thing to one more person. And when your heart is breaking, it's not the same, but I remember when God, why am I freaking watering up? Leslie, I love you so much. I would hug you right now if I could. I wouldn't care. the thing that I remember most about what helped me get through, like last summer, my husband's mother passed. That was really a difficult time for our family. And then when my dog passed, that we had to put my dog down like just like a year before that. In all of those times, because I was so vulnerable and I just told people where I was at, the outpouring of love is what carried me through. And it's almost counterintuitive, because when we're emotional, we guard ourselves to protect ourselves, and we don't want people to see us crying, and we always want to be the strong one and the one that's helping everyone get through their problems. But God forbid we ever need something. God forbid we're the ones that are suffering and the ones that are sad. And I think that for the same reason what Holly was saying, it was a lifeline. And right now you are so sad. I think maybe to share that with your community of people that love you and that want the best for you, it would feel like a little bit of a hug or a support system in a time when the world is beating you down. And I know that freaking sucks, and my heart is breaking with you. I love you, like I've always been grateful to have you on this journey with us. But I know that during those times of darkness for me, the community that I had built of people online that would just like reach out and say, "You're doing okay. I thank you for that message today. It was just what I needed." That little bit of light became a life raft when I felt like I was drowning in my own sadness.
That's where I
And maybe you just tell your friends, I need a little laugh. I need a little pick me up. Somebody come tell me some jokes, like let's share, or just something so that you can find a break from that heartache.
Yep.
And they love you. I mean, they love you, and they would be hurt to know how much you are hurting, but at the same time they'd be the first ones to show up and be like, "We love you and we care about you, and what can I do?" And try to cheer you up. And I really hope, I'll say some prayers for your daughter for sure, because I know that's the mother's heart in you that's probably the maddest. Not that you can't see her, because if you couldn't see her for some reason, like she was having a baby, I guarantee you wouldn't be having this reaction. But it's because she's also at risk of, illness that is also wearing you down.
Well, and I haven't seen her since Christmas, and so we were looking so forward to it, and now it's just,
the disappointment.
And it's, if she could get tested, I don't even know how long it takes for that to even show up. I know that she's had contact with him every day at work, and then found out this morning that he has been tested. Don't know the results yet. And I keep telling her it's possible that he's going to be negative. And that's what we have to pray for. Number one, for his health. I said, but if he's negative, then I can at least get around you for the day. The doctors don't want her staying in our travel trailer with us, but at least I can get around her. I can't even hug her. I can't even do that, so it's going to be difficult, even if I do get to see her. So that's my pity party right now, and I'll let somebody else take over.
Well, just know that I'm sending you the biggest hug that I possibly can, a virtual hug, and know that I love you. And if you ever need anything, just even a friend to talk to, I'm here for you.
Thank you.
And I'll pray for your daughter too.
Now, I'm going to have to get off here. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But I need to get off and call her, because she just tried to call me. So I love y'all.
We love you too.
All right.
I think sometimes it's just nice to be heard, to know that there are people that love you. And that's why going live can be valuable, is because there are people there to listen to you. And maybe you might not feel that in your own home. And I'm sure that that's not Leslie's case, but even just her being on this and getting the love from us is hopefully helpful. Does anybody else want to share about struggles that are going on in your business? Don't be shy. Yes, Laura. Hold on, lately it has not been letting me unmute.
Honestly, I feel like that was so heart-wrenching that it seems kind of meaningless to even talk about this. But you know, I feel so bad for her. That was obviously such a heartfelt message, and as a mother, I can feel her pain, you know. But what I've been struggling with is, you know, I don't know if everybody knows this, but I'm unemployed. I lost my job at the end of February. And what I'm really struggling with is, I had a couple interviews. One of them I think is really interested, so I'm probably gonna have a third interview next week. So what I'm really struggling with is, do I trust my gut and trust myself enough to say goodbye to corporate America, which is what I want to do? Or do I do what I feel is responsible as a mother and a parent, and mostly that, and take a job that is not as much of a risk and be miserable again and probably end up leaving after a year. So that is the struggle for me. You know, I'd love to say I have complete faith in myself, and that I trust myself enough to be able to do this and branch out on my own and start my own company, or you know, whether it's Younique or something else. So that's really where I'm kind of at a standstill right now. I don't feel ready to go to work mentally. My employment goes on for quite some time, and I'm not trying to ride the unemployment train, but I also kind of am. Because I wasn't home with my kids very much when I was younger, when they were younger. So this is the first summer I've ever had alone with them. This is really the first time I've ever gotten to spend time with them, and they're 8 and 9. So I worked in marketing and advertising, and I was barely ever home. So part of me wants to never let that happen again, and part of me has that doubt, like, do I trust myself enough to do that? So that's really the struggle for me.
Well, self-doubt is definitely a battle I think we all face. I know that I don't think that there is anyone that could give you the right answer in this scenario except for you, because you're the one that has to live with yourself one way or the other.
Right.
What I would say is that how can you go on to something else, or you know, like, until you can give Younique like a full chance? And I think that right now you're still holding back on the throttle a little bit because of that unemployment. And right now it's really hard to even know if you'd be good at it because you haven't put all of your energy into it. And what if you didn't have a backup plan? What if failure wasn't an option? Like, it was sink or swim.
Right.
I think that that's what would happen if you went all in with Younique. But maybe you would sink or swim, right? Like, this has to work because I've given myself only one option. Success is the only option. You will operate differently than if you've got a little backup plan. Why do I know that? Because I still work 20 hours a week for my government program managing job, making $58 an hour, and it's a nice little backup plan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a little safety net, and I still haven't been able to break free from it because I'm so responsible as a mother and as an adult. But am I robbing myself from something bigger because I'm afraid to cut the final string?
Right. That's a really interesting, just the phrasing you use is really interesting because, you know, I grew up with my grandmother. It was just her and I pretty much, when I was about 14, she had a series of strokes. So I had to financially support our household and do everything. I didn't have any other family. It was literally, to your point, sink or swim. So but Chris's sisters are often like, you know, we have so much respect for you, and like, you know, how did you do it? And I would always say, because I had no backup plan. I didn't have anyone to fall back on. I didn't have parents to move home with. I didn't have anybody to go financially. I literally had to sink or swim. So at 14, I went and I got a job as a bus girl at a restaurant, and then kind of worked my way up to waitress. And that's what I did until I was probably about 26. And my grandmother passed away when I was 24, and I left Rhode Island when I was 26. So I always try to remember that if I could support my entire household when I was 14, I can do anything. But doubt creeps in, you know. But it's just an interesting choice of words because I always say it's because I didn't have any backup plan. And my sister-in-laws always knew that their parents would be there for them and take them back in, you know, if they had a crutch, I guess you could say.
Right. So corporate America will always be your crutch as long as you allow it to be, especially when you just said with your heart you weren't into it. And the only reason you were doing it is because you felt like it was fiscally responsible.
Yeah.
There's no love in that. There's no happiness in that. There's no joy in that.
No,
That
there's
is
none.
literally the opposite of what anyone wants out of their life.
Yeah.
Is a day in and day out time punch just for the sake of paying the bills.
Yeah, and the final 3 months, I was, pretty severely depressed. I was driving to work and bringing my makeup and putting it on when I got there because I cried the entire way to work. And I when I got there, I'd park, do my makeup, and go inside and try not to cry it off. Like people would come to my desk sometimes, I'd just be sitting there crying. Like that's how much I hated it. So
Yeah.
I think it's the moments like that I need to remember that I've kind of forgot about. But yeah, that's my struggle.
Well, like I said, I don't think anyone could ever tell you exactly what the right choice is. I think that the most important thing that you could do is honor your inner guide. And if you are feeling like you don't want to do it because you know it makes you miserable and you're going to be a worse mom because you're coming home emotionally drained and cranky, like yes, you're paying some bills, but are you the mother that you want to be? Are you
Right. Like I always came home with nothing.
Are you the friend that you want to be? No. What else are you going to sacrifice for the sake of that job? Maybe your physical health. Are you working out the way you like to? Are you eating the way you like to?
Right.
There's a lot of sacrifice that happens when you work a job like that is so demanding and unfulfilling to your spirit. I fully believe that every person on this planet has an opportunity to make an income while making an impact. And if you don't feel like you're making an impact with your income, you're never going to be truly happy. That's one of the reasons why I love Younique so much and teaching yoga so much, because they feel purpose driven. And when you step into your purpose, it's a whole different kind of energy that you operate on.
Sure. No, it was really nice to hear that from somebody else's perspective. Thank you, Marie.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have anything that that's going on in their business that they want to share? Chris had like 5 things and now she's being all quiet.
So, I mean, it was interesting to hear both Leslie and Laura because I kind of feel like I'm right there with them. I had just honestly, the last couple of weeks have really been hard. And this week I just wanted to shut down social media completely. There was like some things that happened. Somebody came after me a little bit where I was just like, I'm done. I don't have the energy for this. This whole month has been really challenging as far as that goes. So I didn't want to call you and bother you again because I feel like every 6 weeks we have the same conversation. So I was like, I'm just going to keep pushing on. So my posts have been very generic just to try and stay consistent and at least make some kind of a post. But as soon as I make the post, I come right off. I just can't even deal with it right now. And, we had family that's law enforcement and military. And so then there's that whole other thing where, we're kind of concerned with where the direction is going with all of that. So it's been really hard to just see all the opinions and all this stuff. And it's just a little overwhelming. And I can get very overwhelmed easily. I'm also an empath, so that doesn't help things. But, I love this company. I love what it stands for, and I love everything about it. I have a hard time, honestly, with messaging people. I can sell, I can do that sort of thing, but when it comes to like recruiting, it's like that is my concrete wall that I just cannot seem to get past. And I'll sit down and I'll start coming up with people like, who do I want? And I'm like, I don't want to work with them. I don't want to work with them. So it's like, then I just get stuck and I'm like, forget it and walk away. I'll just make my post and do the bare minimum right now, because honestly, that's just what I have the energy for. But yeah, so if you have any advice on, reaching out to people, and that's always appreciated. That's my 5 things.
I think it's important to remember that this business is a marathon, it's not a sprint. And this month, each month is like a small little sprint in the marathon, right? Like when you pick up your pace in that month, you want to try to like get a certain amount done in that month. But then the next month it starts over. It's like mile 1, mile 2, mile 3. So this business is not a sprint. You can't maintain a sprint speed. And so it's okay for you to remember you're allowed to rest. You're allowed to cut back. That is one of the things that this business affords you that other business models don't afford you. What becomes a slippery slope is when you let that rest go on unchecked for an extended amount of time. Just like if you weren't going to the gym for an extended amount of time. After a week, you would be like, okay, I got to get my shit back together. I got to get back on the treadmill. I got to get back on the weights, whatever it is. You can't let it go on for too long or else it becomes the new normal. And that level of effort is not enough to keep you growing. Okay. So it's all right to withdraw for a little bit to protect yourself. That's called healthy boundaries, especially in the world that we're in. But think about being what you need to see. You are turning away from Facebook because what you're seeing isn't fulfilling to you. So one, I would make some changes in the feeds that you're watching and you're viewing. If you get on your Facebook, and granted, right now we're all a little hypersensitive to everything, so just take that with a little bit of compassion. But if it's a lot of negativity, feel free to snooze those people for 30 days if it is going to protect your mental health. And then focus on being the person that you want to see. What kind of people are you attracted to on Facebook? The positive ones, the ones sharing a good message, the ones that are changing their lives, whoever it is. How can you be more like that? What is it going to take? And I will tell you 100%, it's personal development. If you start your day off with 15 minutes of personal development, whether you're listening to an audiobook or watching a motivational YouTube, you guys know I share those all the time in the chats and in the groups. I'm always sharing some motivational stuff, my Monday mantras. I'm always giving you guys mindset stuff because the longer you stay down, the harder it's going to be to get back up, right? So we all dip down. The moment you recognize that you're going down, your effort should be bucket, water, bucket, water, bucket, water, right? We can't stop trying to purge the water from our boat just because it's raining outside. And if that's not an analogy that hits home, I don't know one that isn't.
Let's see.
It's raining outside for the whole freaking world. We don't stop spitting out the water. That's how we are going to rise above this while other people are drowning in it. Personal development is key. I think you need, I know you like to read. If you want me to recommend some books, I can definitely recommend some books, but for sure, 15 minutes, a little bit of Will Smith in the morning.
David Goggins. Yeah, well, it's funny that you say that about, like, I realized, I think today, where I was like, I'm going down that rabbit hole and something's got to change. So
yeah,
I made a little bit more of a heartfelt post today than I have in the last few days. So it's good that I'm aware, you know?
Yeah.
But so yeah, I'll take some book suggestions too.
And when it comes to recruiting and using Messenger, I would say that the money is in the messenger, and I think that whatever your reservation is because someone you know has abused Messenger when it comes to their relationship with you, and so you have put up a wall thinking that Messenger is bad, but it's not Messenger that's bad, it's the tactics that are bad. So if we want to take a step back and look at what you're saying and why you're saying it, that might help you feel more confident about reaching out to these people. And I do understand that you don't want to message everybody, and it's okay to be picky. It's okay to be selective. But hey, Mackenzie, I see you, boo. Have you written down who your avatar is. Have we talked about the avatar before on this team call? On the team call, I think we have. But it's basically like your ideal customer, ideal teammate. And you write down everything about them that you're looking for, but also the things that you're not looking for. It's kind of like the wish board for your future husband from the movie Practical Magic, where he had one eye green and one eye blue, and he could make pancakes in the shape of horses. Like, she was very specific about who she wanted to marry. I think it's important that we get specific about who we want to sell to and who we want to join our team, because it's a subliminal message to the universe to start attracting those people into our lives. So until you've actually sat down and thought about that person, that's why you're not feeling like you're ready to reach out in a messenger, because the moment that person shows up in your life, you're not going to question it for 1 second. You're like, I need her on my team right now. Right. I've had a few of you show up in my, and you, I've been like, I need her on my team. I need her on my team. Right. So that's part of the problem, is that your vision isn't clear yet on who you're attracting. And so you don't know who to message, and that feels very unsettling.
Exactly. That is exactly how I feel. It's like I'm just looking at names and I'm just, no.
I don't know. Yeah,
Nope.
you're like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Nope. I don't know. Because you haven't become clear on who you're attracting yet.
Okay. That's very helpful.
So write down, be specific. Like, I want someone that's outgoing and not afraid to take pictures of themselves. I want someone who is ready to change their life. I want a mom, because I'm a mom and I'll relate to them on a mom level. I started saying I want people that care about their health and wellness. Why? Because somebody that is committed to their health and wellness knows how to be committed. And that's all I need, is somebody that actually knows what loyalty is and what persistence is and what dedication is. And those gym rats have that in spades. Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, you're welcome. Write down your avatar, what you do and what you don't want from a customer. You don't want presenters that are going to just tell you that they want everything and then tell you that they're going to run for black status and then they never do anything. And so it's like pulling teeth. You don't want that, right? Be specific about what you do and don't want, and remembering you're inviting that into your life. Laura, you had another question?
Yeah, I want to say one thing I admire about you is two things. You are very disciplined and you're very consistent. And those are two qualities that have never really fully developed. Is there anything that you did to make, or like to kind of help you with those qualities, or were they just sort of, were you kind of born with them and they were innate? Because I'm just not very disciplined, and I am never consistent. And it's like two of my biggest flaws.
Well, I think that they go hand in hand for sure. Discipline and consistency go hand in hand. It's just like anything else. If you look at your life, if you're not disciplined and consistent anywhere in your life, you're never going to be consistent and disciplined in this area of your life. That's kind of what I was just saying about why I said I want people that care about their health and wellness, because they understand that discipline is a key factor. Right. But usually it's not a lack of discipline that's the problem. It's a lack of confidence. You don't believe you can, and so you sabotage, and then you feel guilty because you know all it takes is just a little bit more effort. You know all it takes is just a little bit more consistency. So I would honestly challenge you to look at yourself in the mirror and think about your level of self-worth and how you view success, because I don't think it's a matter of discipline. Does somebody have to stand over you every day for you to brush your teeth, or for you to shave your pits, or for you to, do all of the things that you have to do as a woman? No one is chasing you down, telling you to be more consistent and more disciplined about your personal hygiene. Right. Because it means something to you, because you know that it's part of who you are. in our society, we haven't learned to tap into our success as part of our identity. We've been chasing success for a very long time. We haven't been walking in success for a very long time. So I think there are times in our lives when we sabotage with procrastination, lack of discipline, lack of consistency, because of our sense of self-worth.
Sure.
So, or our belief in the business.
Yeah. You brought up some other interest. You always use very interesting words, and what you said was, I think I need to think about myself more as a person who is disciplined, or I am somebody who works out all the time. I am that person, versus I should get up tomorrow and go for a walk. You know what I mean? Like thinking about it as though I am just that type of person, and that's why I do that. And it wouldn't cross my mind to not do it.
And you're creating that entire narrative that you're an inconsistent, lack of discipline kind of individual, and so then you're manifesting that.
Yeah.
One of the things that I learned a while ago is to never state your negatives in a present tense.
Yeah.
Okay. The longer you state your negatives in a present tense, they will continue to persist. So the moment you can start speaking of them as past tense, the moment you will start making choices that align with making them past tense. Like, I used to be a smoker versus I am a smoker. If you say I am a smoker, then you're going to keep smoking. But if you start saying, I used to be a smoker, you will start doing habits and creating things in your life to not be a smoker anymore, because you're going to start to create that thing in your life.
Or maybe even I am a non-smoker. You know, if you said that to yourself over and over again, you know, if I kind of live my life as though I'm just like, maybe I just say to myself, you know, I'm a disciplined person. You know, I'm a person with great discipline.
Or I'm working on my discipline skills.
Yeah.
Because then things will come in your way, in your path, to help you get better at that. If you say, I'm actively working on my consistency, then things will show up. Like the book Atomic Habits, I highly recommend you read that. Atomic Habits by James Clear was a game changer for me. It's all about the little things that we do in our life that lead to big results.
Yep. Okay. That's great. I'm going to check that book out.
So there's a couple of things that help me stay more consistent. Another thing that helps me stay consistent is realizing that it's not about me. There are days when I don't want to show up, but I do, because I'm a servant leader, because I care about you guys, because I want your success just as much as I want my own success. So then it's not negotiable. Imagine if this business were your child. Would you not show up for them? Would you not give them food and nutrients? Would you not, do what you needed to do to provide for them? You would. And so to me, this team, in very much that capacity, is something that I serve and I live for. And because it's not about me, it's about you, it's not even a negotiation.
More of like
I show up because it's not even a question. I'm not going to not show up for them. I'm not going to bail on them. I've committed to them and they've committed to me. I can't let them down.
Yeah.
And
I remember you showed up after you'd fallen and it, you weren't sure what happened, and I couldn't believe you came on into that.
Yeah, it's never a question.
I knew you must have been terrified, but I think in a way talking it through, and showing up, because that's what you do, it kind of helped bring a little normalcy to it. But I still couldn't believe that you. But you're full of surprises.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You create your own narrative in your mind. So if you're telling yourself you're not good enough, smart enough, strong enough, guess what? You're right. But if you're telling yourself that you're capable of overcoming any challenge that's put in your way, of walking and jumping over any hurdle that comes in your life, because there will always be hurdles, there will always be challenges. But if you believe that you are the kind of person that can overcome, I am a professional overcomer.
Yep.
Take that, write it down. I am a professional overcomer. It is just in my DNA. When I see challenges, I don't turn away. It's another opportunity to get another notch in my belt. Every adversity is another chance for me to prove myself right that I'm a professional overcomer. And I believe that each one of you have that in you as well.
I love that.
All right. It's almost 8 o'clock. That's a long one. And I hope that some of you are feeling more empowered in your business and you're ready to kind of break out of some narratives that were holding you back. I'm super excited to see where the rest of this month takes us. And if you guys ever need anything, questions, concerns, you're looking for some help, you know where to find me. All right. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Marie.